Hi and welcome to the Knatters Knits podcast. You'll notice I'm in a very different surrounding today. I've moved back into the lounge just to give it a little bit of a mix up and see how things are. So how are you today? You alright? It's lovely to see you again. Thank you for checking me out, especially for those of you who are either just coming back again. Thank you again for checking me out. Or for those of you who are new. It's really nice to see you, so thank you for coming along. Today is episode 24 and I've entitled it Retreat or Advance, because of an event I went to at the weekend, and I'll explain a little bit more about that later and you'll see why. Excuse me. So today's the 29th of February. It's leap year. I'm not aware of anybody that's proposed to anybody today, but there's a lot of it on the news, so that's that. So this week, I think what I'll do is I'll tell you a little bit about my week, the week that's just gone, about works in progress, finished objects. And then, those of you who know me know that I've been on a yarn diet. Well, it's gone. Finished, kaput. Partly because of the retreat. And I've got so much to show you here today. You can probably see a little bit of it just here. But believe me, there's loads more than you can see. So what I'm going to start by doing is talking about that. And then the retreat itself. And then I'll talk a little bit about the marketplace and what I actually bought rather than what I've got. And then I think we'll see how we go with that one. So this week, looking back on it, has been crazy. We started off by on Thursday, my husband Phil went and had what they call a cardiac ablation. So without going into all the squirmy details, he basically had a small part of his heart burnt away under X-ray guidance to cure a pre-existing condition. He's home now, he's improving, although he's particularly tired at the moment, and I've kicked him upstairs while we record, so I want to try and keep this as short as possible to try and get that sorted out. He's doing alright though, so thank you to everybody who sent me good wishes. That's really kind of you, and he does appreciate it. Hopefully he'll never have to have that done again or have any more surgery on the heart, so that's really good news. But it means I've got him home for another couple of weeks yet, just while he gets over it, because he's particularly tired. The other thing I've been up to, if you follow me either on Instagram or on Facebook, you may have seen that I went away this weekend. Saturday and Sunday. I left here at Saturday morning and went until Sunday afternoon to Manchester, which is not very far away from me. It's in the north of England, just the same as I am. It's about an hour, just over an hour's journey. So I drove from home to the station and then caught a train to Piccadilly, which is the main big station in Manchester. There are several, but that's the main big one. And then I took a very short walk, much shorter than I expected, to a McDonald hotel, which rather swanky. Not the swankiest I've ever been to, but rather nice. And I went to the Jolie's Kitchen Retreat. It won't be called Jolie's Kitchen in future because she's now renamed her business to Jolie's Creations. But I went to that retreat and I'll tell you more about it later. It was absolutely amazing. And if you ever get the chance to go on one, I really would recommend it. It was really good. Okay, so the works in progress that I've got, one I can't show you because it's a secret test knit. And I've got some work to do on that, so that's down there somewhere. Another one is the Tuck Me In blanket that I did for, I started on the one skein book of for babies, and I can't show you that one because there's no more progress. Another work in progress I was supposed to have shown you last week, and I realised after I'd finished recording that I hadn't even put it into the programme, so I'll show it you today. Now, I don't think this happens in the States and Canada, but in the UK, on the front of magazines, knitting magazines quite regularly, we get free presents. And this one came from Let's Knit magazine in March 2016. So, as we're not March yet, it's the current edition. And basically, it's this kit, which is an Easter Bunny yarn kit. And as well as all the yarn that you need to go with it, you also got a booklet which told you how to make it. Isn't she cute? You can do her with it, or you can make other things as well out of the yarn as decorations. Egg cases. Bunny mittens, which are quite sweet. And there's even a little lamb. But I decided not to do those. I decided when my daughter Rachel was tiny, she had something that she called Mummy Bunny, which was quite a mouthful to say. So I thought with the expectant baby that we've got, he'd probably quite like a Mummy Bunny of his own. So I'm in the middle of making that one. So in the kit you just get basically the yarn and the patterns in the magazine. And this is how far I've got so far. It's, as you can see, it's not stitched up, it's not stuffed, anything like that. I've just got the 2 legs so far, and I'm supposed to be now joining to go into the main body. And he's on just an ordinary pair of bamboo needles that I think I got at the front of a free magazine at some point in time. So that's one work in progress. It's obviously aimed for the Easter market, but I'm not aiming to complete it anytime soon, as long as it's arrived by the time baby arrives. So that's the Easter bunny. Finished objects, I have none. Mainly because I've spent most of my time doing this test knit, which I can tell you is a shawl, but I can't tell you any more than that at the moment. We've hit a few snags with it, and there are a few alterations and omissions and things that we need to rectify. But we're getting on with it, so it's going to be very, very nice. And I'm making it out of my Skein Australian yarn. For those of you who remember back to last summer, when I was in Australia, I was desperately looking for yarn and couldn't find any Aussie yarn in Australia, and ended up buying it mail order just before I came home to the UK. So it's in the colourway Outback, and once it's finished and I've got permission from the person who's written the pattern, I'll show it to you. But at the moment, it is what it is, hidden. So that's that one. What I thought I would like to do before I go and explain all about the retreat is to show you what came in our goodie bag. And this is said goodie bag. Jolie's Kitchen Retreat. Nice sized, usual sort of tote bag. And we could be here a while, so if you haven't already pulled up a chair and grabbed a cup of something to drink, I suggest you do, because there's loads and loads for me to show you. Where do I start? It's so exciting. Right, this one. This is from Meadow Yarn. And we also got a 10% off coupon, and they're www.meadowyarn.co.uk. And it's a sample of Unicorn Tails Silver Fox. It's Tosh Merino Light, and I've been given 52 yards or 47 metres. It's 100% superwash wool merino, 26 to 30 stitches in 4 inches. So they recommend you using 2.25 to 2.75 millimetre needles. But I've never been one to take any notice of that, so we'll see what we see. I've always wanted to try Tosh Merino Light. I've heard loads about it, so now is my chance. I don't know what I'll make with that. Might be a few squares. It's hand-dyed in Texas of South African wool. So it's www.madelinetosh.com, or if you want to buy it from the UK, www.meadowyarn.co.uk. And what I'll do with all of these links is I'm going to put them up in the on the new page that I've got on my WordPress page. So all of these will be on there. Not necessarily pictures, but all the links will be. Next, what have I got next? A small sample of custom blend fibre. Can you see how that is? Isn't it pretty? It's Ice Queen, and it's by Countess Blaze. So that's www.countessblaze.com. And I've already got one of these samples somewhere, so I've now got 2. So I may spin that up very soon. In fact, apologies for the crinkling. Let's get it out. and see what it's like. Ooh. There we go. Can you see there's just a very fine bit of pink and blue through it? Lots of sparkle. And it's so soft. So lovely. It's really, really nice. So I'm looking forward to doing that one. Now, it doesn't actually say what's on there, but I'm sure on her website you can find out. I'm pretty sure I've seen Ice Queen on the website. So that's that one. The next thing I was really excited about. I mean, who gets in a goodie bag a whole kit? This is from tangledyarn.co.uk, and it's Mabel and Ivy Super Soft, and it's to knit La Maison Rilli's Green Memories, a slouchy style Norwegian colourwork hat. So that's what it looks like. And for me, let's take this bit off so you can just see the colours of this yarn. That's all the colours I've been given. So there's grey, a deep red, a slightly more pink red, a very, what I call original grey, white, and this one, although it's looking blue, it's a bit darker than that, and it's a darker colour grey. But the instructions are in there as well, so that's going to be quite exciting to do when I get around to it. Or maybe I might let you have it as a prize, who knows. A bit of a tease, aren't I? What else have I got? Major crinkling here. So we got given one of these Knit Picks View Sizer, it's called. So coming out of the packet. There you can see that you've got a gauge for sizing up all your needles all the way down here. But this part here is a magnifier, and that inches and centimetres on the ruler as well, which is rather good. Maybe if I put it onto white card you can see it better there. Apologies for the reflection. So that was a rather nice surprise. That must have cost somebody a pretty penny to put in there. I've got a sneaky feeling that was probably Jolie. Thank you very much, Jolie. Because Jolie is now a distributor for Hire. And things generally. Talking of Knit Picks and Hire, that's from another company. We also got a little bag with a needle and some tape and some of these knitter's pins, which you can use as stitch markers or project placement markers. And again, I know these are Hire because Jolie sells them, but I really wanted one of these anyway because I'm always losing my needle. How's that? Nice big eye and a pointed end. Really, really good. So that was that one. Then we got one of these kitty snips, they're called. Again, they're Hires, and you can order them from Jolie's website. They're a little pair of scissors, and basically you can put them as a necklace or attach them onto the end of your notions bag, or clip them onto your project bag that you're working on at the time when you go travelling, and you just take them out and the little scissors just on this spring like that, and then they slide back into there. And I understand that they're okay to take on aeroplanes because the blade isn't long enough. You can't really stab somebody and do too much injury with them. So that's quite a useful little tool to have, or even just in your handbag really. So we got one of those. else have I got? Oh yeah, I got a little skein of Knatters Knits handspun because I'd put some stuff in the bag. So that was my business card, and this is one of the samples that I put in. It was only a few grams, but it was just enough to give people a taster and a test of handspun yarn. Then, oh yes, I got a Rachel Coopy pattern from Coop Knits. A pair of socks. There we go. Aren't they pretty? So I got that one. And a book from Jolie with Jolie Creates on it, as well as Jolie's card. Isn't that a gorgeous picture of that little one with that hat on? And it says on the back, Jolie's Kitchen is creating new things with a new name. You can now find us at Jolie Creates. And obviously she's www.joliecreates.com. Again, I'll put that link in. And that's the back of that one. So I got that. Then I got another one, which was a collection by, the tea collection by Claire Devine, and her website is yarnandpointysticks.com. And it says, stitch and sip your way through the wonderful world of tea. And I've got a code for one of her patterns as well, which is rather nice. Then I'm desperately trying to find the other bit that goes with this one. Where is it? There we are. So, Knit British has a podcast, and Louise from Knit British was actually at the retreat and did us a talk about British breeds. And we also got given one of her badges. As you can see, it's a bit shiny, so it's reflecting, but that was Knit British. And that wasn't in it, that just happens to have found its way into the bag. We got a coupon, 15% off alexcollinsdesigns.com, and she makes the most gorgeous project bags and notions things, and oh, just go and have a look at her website. There's loads and loads of things there for you to have a look at. So that one we've got some money off. And I also got some off Mindy Wilkes, and I got 25% off hers, and she's got mindywilkesdesigns.com. Again, I've got her link in my show notes. I've got a lovely little bag which is really brilliant for putting your ball of yarn so you can stand and knit. Stop your yarn ball taking off all over the place. And this is from Love Knitting. So loveknitting.com, and all you need is love, fridge magnet, the bag. There's a pencil in there that's got Love Knitting on it as well. And another coupon, 15% off at loveknitting.com. So aren't I lucky? And then I think that's about it. There's the brochure from the event, well, welcome to the retreat, with loads and loads of information in it. And that's a booklet in there that I'll tell you more about later. So that was my freebie bag. I mean, after all that, who needs any more? Well, of course I do. So that was everything I had from that. And I think I've just about contained everything from that. So we'll put all that over there, out of the way. So that was the freebies. Yes, I think I've told you about all of those. Yes, which could be Countess Blaze. Well, I didn't mention Countess Blaze as much as I could have done. I showed you the small sample. I bought some stuff of Countess Blaze because she was actually there in the marketplace. So I got loads of that stuff. I told you about Jolie and her new things. Now, the retreat itself. So I arrived at about 10 o'clock-ish on the Saturday morning to the hotel. Checked in, went upstairs to the conference centre area. And although I had sort of paid attention, I sort of hadn't. And normally for me the word retreat says, you know, just somewhere you're going to sit and chill out and it's going to be fine. Well, I hadn't said any more than that really, and I hadn't thought any more than that about what I was going to. Usually I think of a retreat as somewhere where you just go to sit and do nothing very much. It wasn't that sort of retreat. It was definitely a knitting focused weekend. But also the big personalities were there. So first of all we had a lady called Kate Atherley. Some of you will know her from her sock book. Others of you may have known her from the knit designers book that she's done. This is called Pattern Writing for Knit Designers, Everything You Didn't Know You Needed to Know, a Helpful Guide by Kate Atherley. Now I know there are a few copies of this left. She did say there were some in a shop in Bath. There's, I think, Yarn Story might have a few. But this is just about to be re-released by Interweave, I believe. And obviously the new edition will be out soon. You can either buy the first edition or you can buy the second edition. Either way, you're not going to miss out because, yes, the new edition is revised with Interweave's own design feature, you know, the way they like to style things, but this one is equally as good. And there isn't, as far as I know, too much change, although it's obviously modern and updated. So I managed to snag myself a copy of these. She'd only got 5 with her, and she put all our names in the hats for those who could buy it. So I got one of these. I paid for it. It wasn't a freebie, but it was well worth it. It's a fantastic book. Goes through all sorts of information you need, loads and loads of stuff. So I'm really looking forward to start using that one. Excuse me a second. Oh, I just have some blackcurrant. Oh, that's nice. So Kate Atherley was there. Some of you will know the name Carrie Westerman. She was there as well, teaching workshops and just generally being a lovely, lovely person. Julia Billings. Louise Scoley from Knit British. She did a talk for us on the Saturday night. Very, very interesting about British breeds. Very infectious enthusiasm. She's great. She's really lovely. So I really enjoyed that one. And then a lady called Kate Heppel, who you will probably recognise if you saw her. She's the editor of Knit Now magazine. And I didn't realise, but it's actually based in the northwest of England, not far from where I used to work in Stockport. So it was really nice to meet her and some of her team as well, because some of the magazine team were there too, including her tech editor and a couple of other people. So that was really, really good to meet them and to get an idea about how magazines are put together, what they're looking for, how they commission all the lovely things that you see in their magazines, how they come up with themes, all sorts of different things we got told about. So that was really, really interesting. On the Saturday I did a workshop on tech editing because I would really like to learn more about doing technical editing of knitting patterns, which is unsurprisingly a very maths-like job. And if you know how to use Excel spreadsheets, that's particularly helpful. I think I will probably be enrolling on Jolie's tech editing course because we've been given 50% off that one as well for attending the workshop, because apparently we've learned half of it already, or tried half of it out. So that was really interesting. And then on the Sunday I did a workshop on pattern design by Kate Atherley. Now I've never heard her speak before other than this weekend, and the fact that the PowerPoint went down, that she'd flown all the way from Canada, just none of this seemed to faze the woman. She was superb. She sat, she told us about all the things we needed to know, no notes, to time, stuck to time. Oh, she was just wonderful. She was a really good speaker. So I really, really enjoyed that as well. So that was another good point. Then on the Sunday afternoon we had what they called the marketplace. So we were able to go and buy. Not bye-bye, but have money. Take all my money. So as well as all those lovely goodies, I bought a few things. I'll quite happily admit I didn't buy millions of things because I'm supposed to be on a yarn diet, but also I wanted to choose things that I might be able to design with, or I might be able to use to make something with that would be really, really nice for me. I also decided that I was going to try a couple of new people and a couple of people I already knew. So I bought some stuff from Jolie. I bought some higher sharp needles because I've never tried those before, and some just ordinary hires as well. So I've got one of each of those. Now I know why they're called higher sharps. Ow. But no, fair play. They were good. So after I'd been to Jolie's stall, I went to a stall. Excuse me, just leaning over here. Let's get the ticket out of the area here. And this is called Travel Knitter. I'd never heard of them before. She's based in Walthamstow in East London. And this colourway is called Puddled Iron. It's merino DK. It's 100% extra fine merino, but it's superwash. And there are 230 metres in 115 grams. And they expect you to do 22 stitches and 28 rows per 10 centimetres on size 4mm needles. It's a cool hand wash. And this is it. It's beautiful. Now that's lighting is washing it out. If I bring it back here, that's much more true to colour. And it really is, oh, it's so soft and squishy. And to be honest, you know, I spent all that money on Miss Bab's yarn. I think this base is very similar. It's gorgeous. Now, obviously, I haven't tried knitting with it yet. I've got to do a swatch because I'm thinking about designing with it, so I want to do a swatch first. And as all good knitters always do, of course. So that was that one, and that was Travel Knitter. I then came across another one, another stall I'd never heard of before, called Coach House Yarns. Now this lady has her Coach House yarns are based on Etsy, so you can, if you put in Coach House yarns on Etsy, you'll find them. She calls this her Buttery DK base, and it's 100% blue face Leicester. There's 50 grams and 119 yards, so it's not a huge yardage, and the colourway is called Emerald Mine. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I've bought 4 skeins of this. I want to try and make something. I'm not sure what yet. I'm thinking maybe a scarf or a cowl. Or maybe something slightly bigger like a shawl. But I just love this. And it's just so not my colours that I thought it'd be a nice challenge for me. There you go. And this again, you can see, can you not see the bounciness there? Really great stuff. And of course, with Countess Blaze being there, it would not have been right for me not to have bought some, would it? So, sorry, you might not be able to see these very well because I don't know if you can see the colours here, but yes, I've got a bit of a fixation, haven't I, about this colour. This one from Countess Blaze is called Byzantua. And it's the English Gentleman DK. 50% blue face Leicester, 50% Masham. It's a DK weight yarn, and in 100 grams there's 240 metres. And that. I don't think that's her, I think that's part of my yarn there. There we go. And the colour back here, that is pretty true. And the reason I picked this one is because I wanted it to complement this one. You getting a theme here? There we go. And this one is the Bad Girls Club. Now I've got some Bad Girls Club, but it's a different colourway, and it's a fingering weight yarn. But this one's a DK, obviously to go with this one. And this is 50% BFL and 50% Masham. 100 grams, 240 metres as this one is. They were £16 per skein, so they weren't cheap, but there again you are getting Countess Blaze's wonderful dyeing. And you, let's just take this out a minute and show you as you unravel it. It's quite clearly black in a lot of places, but there are these patches and these naughty little streaks of colour. And that one I thought would complement with that one. So I think this may become a shawl. I'm not sure yet exactly which shawl, because I'm thinking about designing one and combining the two so that it's not all black, it's not all red, but the complementary bits in between I picked up. So we'll see what we see with that one. There we go. So that's the Countess Blaze. Beautiful. It feels gorgeous, it really does. It's just so, you see how squishy it is and bouncy. It's lovely. So that's my acquisitions. I'm really glad that I tried some new designers and new yarn designers, because these two, grey I've always wanted to give a go to, and I've never been sure which one, but I really found this one quite appealing. As you can see, it's quite a variegated grey. And this one obviously is variegated because it's greens and darker greens and also bordering on greys and blacks in places. But Coach House Yarns and Travel Knitter, the people behind them were at the show. They were really lovely, so I would recommend you going and trying them out. They just had some lovely, lovely stuff. And being British products, I think we really should support our English designers and dyers and what have you. So Travel Knitter and Coach House Yarns, definitely give those two a go. Now I should say, and I should start all my podcasts with they've not asked me to do this. This is me doing it because this is what I've bought. If at any point in time that changes and people send me stuff, then obviously I will tell you that they've actually sent the stuff, and it's perhaps slightly more biased, but at the moment this is biased only on what I am finding and what I really, really fancy. The final thing I wanted to show you, where's it gone? I've lost it. Is a tool. I can't find it now anyway. It's a spinner's tool. And it's from a company called blotz.com, blotz.com. Now, for anybody who spins or who knows the slightest little bit about spinning, one of the tools that you can get is a wraps per inch tool. So you can actually measure how many times you can wind the yarn round in an inch. And working on that tells you exactly whether you've got fingering, lace weight, sock weight, double knitting, chunky, and sometimes it's very difficult to tell because these yarns that you buy aren't always exactly one or another. So it's got that on it. This is really annoying me now. Where is it? It's got that on it, but it's also got a section on it to tell you where the twist is, what angle it is. This is really annoying me now because I know I got it out. No, I can't see it. I'll have to see if I can find it and perhaps put a picture of it at the very end. So there was that one. It's got the angles for the twist, so you can work out how much twist there is in there. It's also a needle gauge, and it's also got a centimetre and inch rule on it as well, and it's only this big. Really tiny, but very, very good. Made of thick durable plastic, and it's got on their website you can choose which colour. So if you wanted something see-through and blue, or pink, or I've just gone for a plain old black because I felt that was the most easy one to do. So that's that. And the last thing really to show you is this, which was an introduction to technical editing. And this is Jolie's course book that she gave us. And as you can see, loads and loads of information and classes to do. So all in all, it was a fantastic weekend. I really, really enjoyed it. And if it just stopped at that, that would have been brilliant. But on top of that, there were all the people I met. So hi to Triumph Tracy, and hi to everybody else who I sat with, who made friends with me, who looked after me. Just hello, and thank you for checking me out. It was a really lovely weekend. The food was great. Oh, I had a most wonderful steak dinner and a glass of wine. My bedroom was bigger than this lounge. It was huge, absolutely huge. But it was great. I had a wonderful weekend. I need to start saving my pennies to do something like that again. I think maybe next time I'll be looking for something different. Maybe a complete knitting retreat with cream teas and, excuse me, just generally a pampering sort of weekend rather than one with lots of classes in, just where I can sit and knit. But it was really, really useful. I learned a load, and, well, all I can say is watch this space, because I have been so inspired to get on and design, try things out, edit things. No, it really has been a super weekend. I was a bit of a shame to go back to work this morning, really. Oh, it's been such a day. It really has. But, you know, Mondays are like that, and it's something I've got to get used to. So I think what I'm going to do is wrap it up here. Hopefully this is going to record and it's going to go okay. I will be back again next weekend. After, probably it might be Monday again, because I'm vending at the Longridge Craft Fair on the Saturday, and I'm teaching somebody spin on the Sunday. So it might be late on Sunday before I record. But that's it for me for this week. Thank you again for coming to see me. Let me know what you think about the new layout. I haven't used the new microphone this week, but mainly because of where I am and the fact I'm recording on my iPad. I'm looking into getting a new camera to see if I can get a sharper picture. And thanks very much for checking me out and taking the time to spend some time with me. I hope you all have a lovely week. Happy knitting, and I shall see you soon. Take care. Bye.